Alright, so this week we're gonna be talking about certain situations that have been happening this week, and I've sort of like taken my time a little bit with it because I've been trying to get a bit too carried away and be all up in my feelings, but finally I'm gonna be speaking about it because I think my United are playing today anyway, obviously because my team, for those that know, is United in it. So, but obviously lately there's been a whole lot of like racial abuse, like mostly to a number of the black players that play for Man United on social media and stuff, obviously. So when they have a bad game or United lose, like it's usually like the black players that are being targeted online. You know, this is nothing new. I'll probably speak more towards the football side of it, but and then go take you more to the social media side of it. But when it comes to football wise, I just think football needs to do better, mostly to protect their players. Either that's on and off the pitch. And obviously, I know you said about that Man United have now put or up the number of security Anthony Martial residence, basically where he lives, because these clowns on Twitter and Instagram were sending death threats to his wife, saying, "Oh, yeah, you and your monkey husband need to get out of town, basically, or we're gonna kill you." But yeah, before I forget, what do you think about that?
I mean, I just said it's normal. Like now, I think Man United fans think it's totally appropriate to be racist to anybody.
Actually, let's not say all Man United fans.
Well, most of them.
But also, what triggers me the most as well is when people say, nah, these people that are doing this are not United fans or are not football fans. Listen, we all know there's people in every walk of life who potentially are owners of businesses, who potentially are teachers, who potentially are policemen that have this certain mentality, right? And that, just look at it in the same way. Like, this man will never really respect you as a black man, yeah, unless yeah, you've got something of value. And when you haven't got that anymore, you best know they're gonna realize you're black. And the perfect little segue of that is Rashford. Bro, this man, we're posting him everywhere. Oh, superhero this. Oh, little, banners all over the pitch. And then as soon as as a football fan, and bro, he frustrates me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be cussing at the TV now because this is very frustrating. Bags of talent, but not always like reliable when it comes to his football game in it. But anyway, I can also understand that the person I'm looking at is a football player, right? Is a human being. Like, I can separate Rashford, the football player, and Rashford, the
MBE.
Do you know what I mean? Rashford, MBE, feeding kids, basically making Boris sit down. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I can separate the two. But for some people, right, most of these fans, yeah, they can't. They respected him when he was feeding their kids, even though most of this man anyway, yeah, got no job or got nothing going on in their life, yeah. This man are having microwave dinner from fucking breakfast to dinner in it. So allow it. Get off his back. But as soon as this guy has done whatever, basically being a football player, you are an entertainer, right? And you're always gonna be there's always gonna be space for people to criticize your performance, right? Because your job is about performance based, and you make money over the people that have eyes on you, who are watching you, right? So I can understand you being like, bro, Rashford was shit today. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're shit, bro. You should have passed that ball, right? Completely different. But when you go from Rashford should have passed the ball, that effing monkey, the big man, that's a whole other thing. And also even to the point of threatening a man's family because he had a bad day at work, or was having a really bad month at work. You just dip that. So because a nurse is just been, struggling, yeah, to, I guess, is dealing with like a whole lot of cancer patients, and it's just that month is a really bad one. Like, nothing's working, bro. Nothing's working. Like, everyone that seems to be coming through seems to be passing. So we're just all gonna go to stand up at this person's house and say, listen, you're not doing your job. So because you're not really saving everybody, so you FN this. Just my point. It doesn't make sense. And as human beings, we need to learn to separate the two. Yeah? And look at things that way. Because genuinely, I'll say to you, one person that I sort of don't like really is like, for example, Boris in it. I think he's a clown, but I can separate Boris Johnson, their husband, and the MP. Do you see my point? Like, I have to, because he's a human being, right? And for me, it's something that we have to start doing. And if we can't do that, I beg, I've been saying this. Allow the whole kneeling stuff. Allow the whole no room for racist campaign. It's not working, bro. So I'd rather you not do anything, and also stop talking about it, because the more you talk about it on Match of the Day, the more you talk about it, the more you ask the coach of Man United the questions about, what do you think about this? You're only fueling the fire of these clowns that know they can get away with creating little anonymous accounts on Twitter and an anonymous account on Instagram to be putting monkey emojis and bananas under these guys' comments. Like, you're only making it worse in it, because they know they can't get away with it. And also, furthermore, sorry, I'm going on a rant. Furthermore, yeah, also, it's mad, yeah, it's actually mad to me how police are able to find, if they suspect someone is apparently doing terrorism shit, they're able to find you like that and know where you live like that. But when it comes to these clowns that are doing madness on social media, all of a sudden, actually, we've got no way of finding, the UPS on, where they're sending this information from. I think my thing is, there needs to be things in place in relation to, if you want to use social media, register some form for ID. If you haven't got one, spectate. Does that make sense? Like, you can look what everyone's doing on Instagram. You can look what everyone's doing on Twitter. Obviously, speak for people that are young. To be fair, you should be on there anyway. But until you've got an ID, you're not allowed to be commenting shit. You can have an account. I guess you'll be allowed to post, but you're not gonna be allowed to comment, because, just my point. Or actually, yeah, comment and posting, you can't do that, innit? Allow it. Do the things like maybe retweeting. But my point is, there should be certain conditions in it, and unless you have put your ID down, you should not be eligible to do certain things on the internet, on a platform, right? Either it's Instagram or Twitter. That should be the way that should be done. Because, tell me, how do we even control something like this? You can't, because what? Okay, it's very easy for me to create an email. A new one. It's easy like that. It's very easy for me to create an account. Just map on all these things, bro. And there's literally no accountability as to what I dish out from there. But I always go back to this as well, right? Because my thing is, it needs to be, fair all the way. Like, bear in mind as well, the law against racism or discrimination, mostly that was put in place to protect black people. This was made in the 1960s, right? And this law has not been, or this legislation, if that's the word I'm looking for in my head. But anyway, this legislation has not been changed since in the 1960s, right? And it also specifies, like, if this happens in public, it specifies that in public. So what about now? Why haven't we updated this law? Well, because to protect black people, or any form of racism, discrimination that goes on these platforms, on these internet platforms, so that it holds people like Twitter, Instagram, accountable for the users that they have on their platforms. Because on top of that as well, like, I try to report most of these comments in it, because I saw it for mostly Anthony Martial in it. People putting bear, banana, monkeys, and banana emojis under these pictures. And guess what? Instagram said, "Oh, sorry, you did not provide enough evidence." But let that be a Jewish comment. Let that be a homophobic comment. Let that be Islamophobia, Islamophobic, mad Jesus. Comment. Just my point. Like, all these things here is an instant thing. Let that be a tourist comment. Let me just post like, "Fam, my block your school." Watch, bruv. Fucking CIA or MI5 is out of my house. Like that. So we need to have the same energy for that, because listen, it's getting to the point where hate is gonna start fueling hate. And all that's gonna happen is we're gonna hate each other enough to the point where it's not gonna be safe for anyone to be out there, innit? All it's gonna take is for a white person to look at a black person a bit iffy, and it's a madness.
What do you mean?
This is my point. So I don't know, man, but like, my thing is, no one cares enough in it. Mostly and I hate to play the whole victim card. Like, oh my god, we're the bottom of the food chain. But it's reality, and like, I need you to show me. If you disagree, comment below in it. But show me where you can actually say, you know what, nah, there's these things in place to protect you guys. Because there is, like, even if there is, we're always the last people to come through. We're always the last people to be protected. We're always the last people to be considered. We're always the last. Do you see my point? And it takes really mad things to happen for people to be like, you know what? Yeah, we need to do something. Even the whole Black Lives Matter thing, for it to be on Sky, bro, it took a man being kneed on his neck until he died for that to happen. And now the signature for remembering and actually making a stance against racism is kneeling. If you really think about it, but that's this whole thing is twisted, bro. It's fucked. And now I'm so fed up here of just simply, oh, you just gotta accept that's how it is, man. Like, these things take time. Everyone else's things didn't take time. When Wiley messed up, that didn't take time. You man completely made him disappear. And it took you what, a few days, a week, and it's gone. So when I tell you, if these people genuinely cared about completely stamping out racism, they could do it, innit? They could find these people easily. They could do it if they really wanted to. But because for Twitter, for Instagram, for all these platforms, now it's a numbers game, and the data is where the value is. The more people that create fake accounts, it's more money in it. It's because it's more engagement. Just my point. But there needs to be laws where it holds these people accountable. Just think about the number of like cyberbullying that goes on and look for yourself in it. Look at the number of people that commit suicide when it's all cyberbullying related. But no one ever brings up the conversation about these platforms, these apps, taking responsibility and actually putting in things in place where everyone who's on there, if you move mad, you have to be dealt with accordingly, and the whatever police, wherever they can be, they can get involved if they have to. But I am tired, bro. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm tired of having to have the same conversation about racism, about and forget it. I don't want to say about racism, about simply being treated the same as everyone else, having the basic rights, right? Just being seen as an equal, just that. They ain't even that, bro. I know more dogs that have got more fucking rights than fucking human beings, bro. So allow it, innit? Anyway, what do you want to add?
So, what I think is that I've seen so many white football players, even mixed race football players, that have had such shit seasons and haven't got this much hate. Because
perfect example, Maguire, bro.
Yeah.
This guy had his I can't even speak. I'm so angry, bro. He's had a bad game, or he was having a bad game from September, the start of the season, all the way until, was it like February or January when Bayo started coming in? Yeah. So, and guess what? Not once was it mentioned today. Not once was it trending on Twitter. And the worst case scenario, this man about calling him slaphead or big fridge. This man's a fridge. See my point? Like, there's actually, let me just do that. Like, really and truly, there's never the same energy, bro. But I know. So you're saying?
Yeah, and I feel like, as you said, like, we're just tired of speaking of this. Like, why are we kneeling for if you can't change anything? I don't think, like, we can't stop racism. There's no point in life where we're ever gonna say racism is not a thing or anything like that. But I feel like we need to take more action on it, because we can't be that every week. We can't be like, oh yeah, Rashford got racially abused or blah blah blah, because people don't see that Marcus Rashford, as you said, he can be really shit on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like, we can all say that.
Nah, frustrating.
Yeah, but
so bad.
But you got to see the other side of people as well. Like, he's a great person, like,
Off
in
the
general,
pitch.
and that. But people just, like, such racial stuff goes on, and it's just so out of order. But if I saw a white man on the pitch playing absolutely trash, and tomorrow he just goes and lives his normal life, you won't hear one bad thing about him, or it's like, oh, he just played bad. But there's no racial stuff or I'm gonna kill your
And
family.
also, sorry to cut you. Also, the one thing that needs to be changed as well, yeah, commentary and punditry. One thing that needs to be so like that needs to get stamped on. This whole, oh yeah, look at his body language. He doesn't look interested. You know what? Some black people, they just have a face like their face is just like that. Like some people just don't like smiling. Some people just, do you know what I mean? They're just very quiet. They're just shy. They just keep to themselves. So this whole like, oh, attitude, da da da. Allow it in it. Like what? His haircut. What is that? Dancing. It's too much. Allow it, bro. It's part of our culture. In sometimes like not everyone is the same in it. Like don't start bringing culture or don't start appreciating certain cultures only because you like Indian food. So therefore, make that as your justification as to, nah, man, yeah. Just my point, like, don't bring in culture where it suits you in it. Like, it's either we do all the time, or if that's the case, yeah, stick to your fucking bangers and mash in it. Because it's pissing me off, bro. It's pissing me off. Because it's getting to the point, yeah, where, like, certain man, yeah, like, I bet you as well, yeah. This some dickheads that were posting things, yeah, about, oh yeah, this monkey, this da da da. The same day, bro, this man probably went down their street in here Jamaican, bro.
Yeah, I
so
know.
say for you don't like all black people, yeah, and they don't like anything about us,
Point.
or you like German, or you start really thinking about diversity, and it needs truest form in it. Don't start this whole one foot in, one foot out of business, bro. Because I'm tired, bro. I'm getting to the point where I'm losing my head in it because so many people, yeah, like they're about to do this whole, nah, bruv, I can't be racist, bruv, because you know my shoe is black, innit? Allow it, bruv. You're a dickhead, bruv. And that's pissing me off, man. Because again, with Rashford situation, bruv, like this guy is feeding your kids, bruv. He's feeding your kids, bro. He's fighting against the guy who, like, bear in mind, black people or the minority, like black Asian people, we're at least a minority, bro. But I think it's like 5% that we make out of the whole population, whatever, right? So majority of people in this country are white, yeah, majorly, right? So whatever, I'm not saying oh he's only feeding white kids, whatever. You get my point in it, but like majority, that's where that man is going to. The person who looks like you really, who should be looking after you, making sure you eat, ain't even doing that, bro. He's fighting against the whole cause. So allow it in it. Don't really be doing up the whole, oh my god, out here, da, 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 when he's putting food in your kid's belly, bro. But because the guy didn't do this on the pitch, bro, listen, allow it. The guy who you're talking about as well, he's 23 years old. 23 years old. Allow it.
Now, I bet you if Martial decided to leave today,
I don't blame him, bro.
Yeah, we won't blame him. But what I'm saying is that I bet you Man United will flop. I bet you, like, I'm not even saying that he's had a good season so far. Like, he's been quite bad.
He was a top goal scorer last year.
Yeah, but last year was a great
scorer.
example. Imagine Man United need that from him. It's not. It doesn't matter if he doesn't perform if like a season or so. But what I'm saying is, if he left today, I bet you all them racist people would be like, we need Martial back. Bring back Martial.
Yeah, but bro, it's like everything else. Like people always start to appreciate something once it's gone in.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Once it's not there anymore, they're like, oh, do you know who would have been? Allow it. So even that, how it actually angers me, the fact that Man United have had to now put extra security at this guy's house, yeah, because they're scared that some of these messages, some people might actually act up on it. Think about that, bro. We're in 2021. 2021. We're giving rights to dogs, bruv. But it's saying human beings, they're not even given the courtesy of that. It's mad, isn't it? But again, listen, like if it's too much for you to hear, and I hope you switched off like early on, because I'm sorry, bro. Like said, subjects like this, it needs to be talked about, like, genuinely, and people need to realize, like, words matter in it. Things that you do, you might be thinking, oh, no, it's his job, he's supposed to get criticism. But like that woman on fucking Love Island, the presenter, when she had beef with her boyfriend, and everyone was on her putting bad tweets, messaging, saying, oh, da, 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 and she killed herself. And I was like, oh my god, like, that's why it takes in it. Yeah, when it gets really bad, and it was like, you start realizing that your actions actually have consequences. Yes, he's a football player, but he's a bloody human being, bro. All these people, Twanzebe, Rashford, and also bear in mind, there's been so many players that were being racially abused. Tamori or what's his name? No, James from Chelsea. Bare players in it. Bare black players that have been getting abused. I'm only talking about the ones obviously that I'm familiar with right now, but this has been going on the whole week. Yeah. But think of these people are human beings, bro. This one point what? What's gonna take? One of them thinks it's too much, and then they off themselves, and then what? You're gonna feel great, or because anyway, man. I'm gonna leave it there. But until next week.